术听上去很抽象，但是呢，我们眼睛看到的都可以归为视觉艺术，就是说可以感动我们的东西都可以是，可以从比如说达芬奇的蒙娜丽莎，或者就是好像Samuel刚才提到的，在 Instagram 里面一张水煮牛肉的图片都是可以归为视觉艺术的。然后我们今天有2个 Word of the Day， 就是今天每日一字，就是有中文有条条框框，然后英文有 frame。我先来解释一下条条框框。条条框框，有人知道什么意思吗？有没有？条条就是所有细长形状的东西都是条，比如说一条鱼、一条路。然后框框呢，就是英语叫做 frame， 就是一个框架，一个图框。然后条条框框加在一起呢，就是大家猜一下是什么？
框框的外面，框的是那个释放的。对，
那个是框，然后加上条框框，就是表示就是说一些很固定不变的规定，很死板的，就是很不成文的一些规定，或者是可以说是社会上的，也可以说是政治上的，就是说不变的东西。
Sure. So, 条条框框 in English essentially means the conventions, regulations, rules. Effectively, if you think of it uses the frame as a metaphor. If you think about it, and if you use the phrase, think outside the box. It literally describes the box. So anything that's conventional, that's old, that's about rules and regulations. Do you have a sentence you could use the word for us?
Yeah， 就是说，比如说，我们可以说现在在旧金山，在这个高科技的产业，每天每人都在不断的创新，都在尝试突破原来的条条框框，或者我们可以说，比如说在艺术创作方面，我们可以说，每个人都不应该受到文化上或者政治上条条框框的束约，应该就是好像 Samuel 上次说的那样，其实每个人都可以是一个艺术家，每个人都可以发挥自己的想象力，创造一些自己喜欢的艺术作品。
And for English workshop today, we picked the word frame. It also is used to describe literally this picture frame. And you can say something's framed, or you could view a frame. It could also mean you set up something. It also has the meaning of blaming an innocent person. And it's interesting because there are multiple meanings to this word frame. It traces back to that you're setting up, possibly with an evil intent. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the art counter and the timer for today. The art counter is Kayla. Would you explain a little bit about what you do for our guests?
I'm the art counter, so I'll count the so 这个那个 watch out. At the end, I'll give the report to you.
It's our timer for tonight.
The duty of the timer is to keep the meeting on schedule and try to pace the speaker so they know when they reach the limit of their speech. For example, the regular speech is 7 minutes, and the first 5 minutes I will show a green card, and 6 minutes I'll show the yellow card, and red is 7 minutes. And for the other, for the other paper topics, I think it's 2 minutes. 1 minute is the green card, 1 minute 30 seconds is the yellow, and red is 2 minutes. And for evaluation, I think it's The evaluation is what, 3 minutes? 2 minutes, and then 1 minute, and the green card, 1 minute 30 seconds is the yellow, and then the red is 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So in the spirit of keeping the agenda moving, our first speaker is a passionate salsa dancer, or dancing in general, if the music feels right. He's also a combatant for community outreach programs, for the awareness of science, for health issues like HIV, AIDS, and hepatitis B, for volunteerism, and for inclusion, the value of inclusion and diversity. I'm frankly still scratching my head as to why Alberto is doing his icebreaker. he's a confident and very energetic speaker, and Johan will be his.
I'm here.
Oh,
I got here.
she's, okay, sorry.
What's your name?
Shani. So Shani will be evaluating Alberto's speech. Would you mind explaining a little bit about what the objectives are for his icebreaker speech?
Yeah, sure. So for the first icebreaker speech, really the 3 main points are just the speech had a clear structure, beginning, body, and also some of the other criteria were did the speaker actually prepare for the speech in terms of use of notes and the presence. And I think that those are kind of the two biggest assessment points.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
You're supposed to shake my hands.
yes.
They are warm. That's pretty good. Huh? I am 4 years old. I can see my grandfather and my grandmother. They're talking. She's cooking. He's listening. My grandmother gave me a cup of coffee for babies. And she said, drink your coffee. I did one sip. I did another sip. And then my grandfather just came close to me and said, I am Cirilo, your grandfather. A few seconds later, my grandmother said, I am Faustina, your grandmother. I learned 3 words. I am, and you can use the other one. Those 3 words are really powerful. I want to start with my Genesis. Put it that way. Everybody has a Genesis. We don't know because we never asked our parents. I asked my mother how was cooking, what's happening. I want to tell the Genesis according to Alberto, my gospel, my book. My mother told me the whole story in the one-to-one conversation. And the reason, because it's part of the ethical will. We need to share what we have. She said she was on one side, my auntie was on the other side, my father was in the middle, and my father liked both girls. But in that time during the movie, this was in Venezuela, South America. Love connection happens. And my father told my mother in the movie, I love you. My mother said, oh my God, she was so electrified. And she said, this is the right guy, this is love. And then, after love, anything happens. is done, and then this is me, right? You know what we're talking about. We are not babies anymore. In my early years, my mother dressed me like a different costume. The first one has a baby, has an Arabic, because I will tell you the reason later. The second, I went to that portrait, thinking, can't read the future. My mother says, it's going to be a doctor. It's going to be a scientist. Who knows? And the third one was a Chinese dress, which intrigued me until today. I was wearing that Chinese dress for 3 consecutive years. And my mother changed the whole dress. One time was black, another time was blue, and then it was red. I asked my mother, why Arabic? Why Chinese? Our neighbors were full of Lebanese, Syrians, Palestinians, Jews, Chinese, Pakistani. This was in South America. Maybe the reason is, I don't know. But from one person I learned many things. And he was the one who told me about 3 words all the time. He said, we born, we grow, and we die. Oh my gosh. But it's the real thing. It's the real truth. But he told me 3 words which I never had been out of my mind. Knowledge, imagination, and confidence. I call the key. Knowledge, imagination, and confidence. But he also said, hey grandson, don't forget about, have fun in life too. Because sometimes, you're supposed to be serious, go to college, get a degree, whatever. But he said, you have fun, have fun. Probably he was a secret. Of course, I changed. From those little pictures when I was a baby, like a little seed, I changed. I sprout, got bigger. I had an afro, no beard. Yankee, go homes! I'm born 1960s. So you can imagine, at the time I was really immersed in politics. So, in my life I changed. I did my education mostly in South America. And then I started to travel inside my country and outside the country. Because my grandfather said, if you don't travel, you don't know. And he said, remember Chesterfield? We are traveling to that undiscovered country where the no travels retard. Chesterfield, Hamlet, Act number 2. Read about it. I went many times to the Amazonian because I feel connected with the Indians, with indigenous people. This is the Angels Falls, one of the largest falls in South America. Beautiful. Dream about, someday you will be there. I will guarantee it with you. And the Indian has many traditions. They don't drink Kool-Aid. They drink chicha, that kind of white thing made of corn. You get drunk. When you get drunk, you put your head into space, and you see anything you can imagine.
Yeah, have a seat, have a seat.
And then, the 3 words still magic. I am Papa. I have a son. His name is Luis. Luis Alberto. He said hi to you. He's in South America. He's in vacation right now. My mother, I still remember when she said, I am your mother. said, ni hao. But I didn't ask why. My father, he's 85, he always say, hola. Hola. Simple. After many years, I traveled, I did many things, I decided to come to America. Of course, my language was Spanish. I am Spanglish. Maybe if I go to China, it will be Chinglish. I don't know. But this is me. Look, I was like a Che Guevara, probably. I changed. But it's pretty good. I remember my teacher Robin, was in the wheelchair, was my best advisor in how to speak the language. And my classmates, Ibrahim from Saudi Arabia, Michelle from Switzerland, Karina from Ivory Coast. I can name all of them. They were my friends and classmates. Of course, Ochi Alberto. I'm born again. I came to America as a big baby. Remember, my mother said, where are your customs? I did many times. Even at the time when the political correctness was a real big thing, I fight against. And I draw like a baby. In my second picture, I was like a king. Because my grandfather believed we have powers, magic powers. If I couldn't find that power, I used a cane, a sugar cane, as a reflection of that power. Of course, I came to America with a purpose, to do research, magic things, cooking in the lab, new discoveries. I call myself a bioarchitect. New molecules, new medicine. But I'm still doing something else for the community, my volunteer work. I help people, but also I have fun. So I found out why they made my mother made my dress in Chinese boy. I went to China many times. I have been there for weeks and months to figure out if I have some roots in China. I don't know. Maybe in my other life I was Chinese. Finally, I am Alberto. Fellow Toastmasters, I just illustrate my life in 3 points. I give you the introduction about myself, what I haven't done, and I don't know exactly what I want to do. Madame Toastmaster and fellow Toastmaster.
It was very inspirational. I felt like I was sitting at Alberto's home, flipping through his photo album, and he was talking about his life. Thank you, Alberto.
对，然后他越来越好看，谢谢。很谢谢阿贝斗跟我们分享他很丰富多彩的人生。
I want to ask you guys, how many of you watched the presidential debate last night? Okay, so like many of you, Philip is a concerned citizen. He's admitted to voting previously for both Republicans and Democrats, depending on who the candidate was. Without further ado,
All right.
I would like to ask Ellen to talk a little bit about what his speaking objectives are for his speech, which is called Obama versus Romney. And it's the 5th speech, Your Body Speaks.
Thank you, Toastmasters. So for tonight, it's Philip's number 5 speech. It's called Your Body Speaks. The objectives are use your stance, movement, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact to express your message and achieve your speech's purpose. Also, make your body language smooth and very natural. Your time is 5 to 7 minutes. So thank you.
Just a quick question. How many people saw the presidential debate last night? How many seen the first debate? Okay, well, I have a special treat for everyone tonight. I want everyone to close your eyes. Just close your eyes, everyone. Close your eyes. You can open your eyes now. I have a surprise for you. I have, to my right, I have Obama, President Obama. And to my left, we have Governor Romney, and they both agreed to answer some of our questions, and they have their debate in front of us right here. So let's give them a hand first. And to Governor Romney. So this is going to be a town hall format, so we're going to take questions from the audience, and you can direct your questions to either Obama or to Governor Romney or to both of you. So who wants to ask the first question? Okay, bro, maybe you can state your question.
Sure.
And then who would also want to answer your question?
Yes, sure. My name is Alberto. I am Mexican. I'm illegal. I have a wife and 2 kids, both in college. They're illegal too. There are 8+ students. One is already in Harvard, another one is Stanford. My question is, what do you want to do with the illegal students, to Mr. President and the governor?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll direct the question to Governor Romney first. That's a wonderful question, Alberto. And I'm sure you have beautiful children, and I think that we're a nation of immigrants, and we believe that this is a land of opportunity. We want to. I'm totally for immigration, for legal immigration. For people to go through to just go through the process. And if I'm president, I will streamline all the different things that's necessary to get people through the the legal immigration. Becoming a citizen, immigrating here, it shouldn't require a lot of paperwork. It shouldn't require any fancy lawyers. As president, I'll make sure that things will go well in this regard. Now the question becomes what we do with the illegal immigrants, what we do with some of the students that are legal, and I believe that we should close our borders, and we should protect our borders, and we should stop the flow of immigration. That's something we should do. But then again, I also believe that the ones that are already here, we shouldn't penalize them. I think that we should put them give them an opportunity to become citizens, and we can come up with different strategies. As you know, the Republicans and the Democrats have different viewpoints on how to achieve this. And I've shown that in the past, in my state in Massachusetts, that I have been able to reach, to work, with different philosophies and come up with compromises. In my state of Massachusetts, the legislature is predominantly Democrats, and I'm a Republican governor. So how could I get anything work done? So the reality is that you have to work with each other, and there's different views, from both aisles, and I'll work with both groups, and we'll come to some compromises. But these are my principles. Okay, Obama, maybe you can respond to that. Well, you heard from Governor Romney. We know what he is in favor of. We know that he's a Republican. If you look at his record, you'll see that he's for the Arizona law. He's for checking IDs, and he's not saying it. And we know that he flip-flops a lot, but he's really for deportation and for rounding up. If it was up to him, he would kick out all the students that don't have documentations, and that would be a step backward for America. there's a lot of things, I mean, I agree with some of the things that Governor Romney says, but I think you need to be careful because some of his positions are anti-immigration. Okay, so we've heard from both candidates. Does anyone have any other questions that they want to ask either candidate?
Good evening. My name is Alan. I'm a student from Berkeley. And this question is direct to President Obama. For the past 4 years, you have invested a lot in the natural energy resources. But right now, oil and gas price has gone up to $5 a bucket. Is there anything we can do about that, and what's your expectation? How much longer we have to wait?
That's a very excellent question. Your question is about about energy, right? About different how we can what we should do about it, about the the cost of energy, about gasoline, and we know that if we look at America, if we want to be secure, one of the things that we need to do is we need to be energy independent. We need to not depend on the Middle East or any other country. And to achieve these goals, we need to have renewable energy. So during the last 4 years, I poured in a lot of money in solar, in wind, in water, all these renewable resources, and I think that's the way of the future. And there's going to be some costs and some investment costs. Now, in terms of what we can do immediately to help with the relief, some of everything's on the table. I will consider everything. Everything from the domestic oil, different strategies, just other things. I'll entertain everything. But the key thing for me is that we need to secure our energy resources because we need to be responsible for the future, not just for today. If all we focus is on today and just on oil today and nothing else, there comes a point where we're going to run out of oil, and then we're going to be in deep trouble. And that's not responsible. I can't just focus on today. I need to focus on the future as well. But thanks for your question. Well, anyone else? Actually, we're out of time, so I guess maybe we'll hold on to your thoughts. Maybe in the future, when there's another meeting, we'll have another discussion. Well, thanks a lot.
I didn't think I would sit this close to the presidential debate. So did this debate change who you're going to vote for?
我没有选举权，但是可以感觉得出，就是政治就好像打乒乓球，飞来飞去的。我们现在欢迎我们第3位的演讲者。他学习中文的时间不算很长，但是非常敬佩他的毅力和勇气。这是他第3个演讲，然后他的 evaluator 是 Amy。Amy， 你可以告诉我们，就是说他这次演讲的重点要注意的是什么吗
？So the objective for this project is how to say it. So you need to select the right words and the sentence structure to communicate the ideas clearly, accurately, and widely, using a theoretical device to enhance and emphasize ideas, and eliminate the jungles and unnecessary words. Use the correct grammar.
谢谢。来，欢迎。
小鱼，养小鱼可以给你们带来什么好处？我要跟你们讲三个大点。第一，水族箱可以给你们家带来什么？带来一些情调。第二，养小鱼很有意思。第三，水族箱跟风水有关系。水族箱可以给你 给你的家带来一些情调，水流的声音让你放松，水有波动，你可以看到水的波纹在屋子的墙上。晚上关上灯，你可以坐在水族箱旁欣赏，透过自然的灯光，绿色的植物在水中里摇摆，蓝色的小鱼玩耍，红色的小虾在不停的清洁。养小鱼很有意思，你们知道吗？小鱼在晚上会睡觉，早上会醒来。小鱼有各自的性格特点，有的很自信，有的很害羞，有的很强势，有的很弱势，也有的好奇心很重。与小鱼不同，小虾很喜欢安静，而且小虾的孩子超可爱。水族箱跟风水有关系。中国有一些说法，遇水则发，意思是水会带来钱财。水族箱可以调节室内的湿度，而且可以让室内更明亮、美观。水族箱不能放在厨房或在沙发后面，这算一个条条框框。为了要招来好运，我们会把水族箱放在大厅有阳光的地方。从以上三点，我们可以很明显知道养小鱼的好处。它可以第一，为室内带来情调；第二，养小鱼很有意思；第三，它也可以为我们招来财运。希望大家能喜欢我的报告。谢谢。
非常好 ，Michael， 我觉得我也想养一些鱼，可以增长一些财运。下面我们有English topic.
New topic. So let me introduce Marco here, who will be hosting the English table topics tonight.
Hello, everybody, dear members and guests and honorable officers. My name is Marco. I will be your table topics masters of the day. And especially for those of you who are new, I just want to briefly describe to you what this exercise is all about for Toastmasters. Table topics are impromptu speeches, exercise that we require our members to do, to practice. To practice what? So that we can speak impromptu, without time to research, without preparations, and thinking on the feet. So you're giving topics of the day by the Toastmasters, and you are given 1 to 2 minutes. Let me emphasize 1 to 2 minutes. I think last time when I did the table topic myself, I went over time. So 1 to 2 minutes, and of course the timer will be, Ben will be ready to notify you. Okay. And the words of the day is, look at this visual art pieces. I mean, these are really nice visual aids, and good job for us. As you know, visual art is our theme of the day, and frame is the word of the day. And this is Telltale Gong Gong. Gong Gong. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, and another example I brought to you is this is what we have, downstairs. Some very nice sculptures, visual sculptures, and architects, painters, they do use their own magic and create something very beautiful. So, a little history before we start. About the time of the 20th century, fine art is everything, including audio art, songs, music, including performance arts, operas, and also visual arts, which is something like this. But after that, it's been divided, so so that it's more specific. So, do I have any volunteers? Want to come out and challenge yourself, thinking on the feet, and talk about these words of the day, the theme of the day. Anybody? Thank you. Roberto.
Let's give it a chance to the people.
Come up with a question first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks. Thank you. My questions to those of you, or all of you, is that I myself am not really in the field of visual arts like Samuel is. Now, what can you tell me about this subject? Very. Thank you. You can stand here, or you can walk around like Roberto. It's okay. That would be fine too.
I just learned this the other day from one of my coworkers, who in his previous life is also architect. So he designed building and stuff like that. So like Samuel. And then I'm in the software development team, so we run a Scrum process. I don't know if people are familiar with that. And then there's a technique which I learned the other day about estimating the effort of the task. And then this concept of are people familiar with the Fibonacci number? It's, right, so it's basically 1, 2, and then 1 plus 2 is 3, and 2 plus 3 is 5, and 3 plus 5 is 8, and 5 plus 8 is 13, right? So just Fibonacci number is the sum of the previous two numbers, and then you just build it up on top of 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. And the reason I talk about this and how it relates to video art is one of my architect friends sent me the YouTube clip, and then apparently you can try this at home, right? You could design almost anything that's kind of an interesting video art pattern by using this number. For example, if you build a square 1 by 1, and then you build another square 2 by 2, and then 3 by 3. And then you build up this beautiful mosaic pattern, which is built on top of the Fibonacci number. Right, so this is nothing. And then another good example is you take the pine cone, right? The cone that drop out of the pine tree, and then you turn it around, and you can see there's a swirl pattern, right? It goes like this. and that architecture calculated the dimension, the radius and the size of the scroll. It turned out that's related to Fibonacci number 2. That's pretty interesting, right? And then in that video clip he sent me, there's actually a couple more examples like that, right? It's just, I don't know, it's probably God or nature just enforced something that's built on top of this Fibonacci number actually created a larger visual art for stuff like this, and then for pine art, the pine tree, and that's pretty amazing. I found out about. I could send that video clip around. It's pretty interesting. So.
Good point. Interesting. Thank you. That's amazing. How can you put all these mathematical patterns and tie into all this visual thing? That's very interesting. And I must say I've learned something today. Now, another question is, for some of us, visual arts, visual attractiveness is very important. One of my co-workers, let's give her name Alex. She told me, hey Marco, I don't want to date, I only want to date good-looking guys. I said, well, I can't say I would disagree with you, but however, does attractiveness equal good character, integrity, kindness, generosity, or the willingness to commit? And she said, well, let me get back to you. Anybody else want to make any comments or challenge yourself to come out and give a speech about visual arts? Anyone? How about our new member here, Yang Xi? Shani, sorry. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to take a more of a controversial position, and I'm going to agree with your coworker that attractiveness actually correlates to kind-heartedness and all the good characters that you want to make. And here's how. Here's why. Has anybody heard of self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yes, I have.
Great. And has anybody experienced in your life, professionally or personally, when you live up to people's standards, when they set that higher, you tend to meet them? So I think because the society has such an expectation for your exterior to match your interior in the sense of celebrities, in the sense of politicians, in the sense of people that you role model after, I think society as a whole really places that expectation on the people that have these exterior qualities. Therefore, I think it tends to motivate people internally to meet that standard. So it's a controversial position, and it may not be true in all cases, but I think there are a lot of examples that we see in our workplaces as well as personal lives, and also with ourselves. I think a lot of people say if you wake up, you dress nicely to go to work, you tend to perform better. And that's one of the things where really kind of how you feel, how other people expect of you in your exterior, really kind of becomes a motivator for your interior.
Thank you. That's a very smart cooking here. And I like that. Moving right along, how much time do we have?
Actually,
you still have time?
we're a little bit late catching up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. and Madam Co-Founder.
Great thought-provoking questions about visual arts.
下面我们欢迎戴爷给我们主持中文的应急演讲。
谢谢 Jessie 跟 Samuel， 欢迎大家朋友，我是即兴不明的主持人。什么叫即兴呢？就是给我们新来的朋友说，即兴就是没有时间准备的回答。那你说这个有什么用呢？为什么我们常常来参加的会议，就是来练习什么叫练习？因为你很多情形就是没有时间，对吧？老板问你的工作做完没有，你就要很快的就想一个回答。所以呢，我们每次来，我就希望 我出现问题的时候，你就不要害羞，就是试试看。我现在就是问几个问题，就是关于我们的话题，就是这个就叫做视觉艺术，巧不巧？刚好我呢以前在大学是学什么艺术，毕业了以后呢就做什么？我是设计部门的部门长，Art Director，just serendipity。所以今天呢，我就是大家一起来分享这个美术，这个什么叫做美？什么叫做美人呢 ？Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder。那么我先问问你，假如你认为这个眼光不同的话 ，everybody looks at something different。我如果叫你选一个很有名的这画，要你选一个 Mona Lisa 的，或者选一个皮卡索的美人，你会选哪一个挂在你的客厅上呢 ？Alan。
谢谢奥爷。各位演讲会的朋友们，大家好。如果你给我选的话，我当然是选蒙娜丽莎的微笑啦。我跟你讲为什么？很巧，因为我2天前去7-Eleven 买东西吃了，这很好笑。他们有卖那个 DVD on sale， 对不对？然后我就看，结果我看到有一个 DVD 叫做《Breaking Da Vinci's Code》，OK， 我不知道你们有没有看过。那整个书它的那个就是由蒙娜丽莎的那幅画先开始的 ，OK。那所以我看了以后，然后我去看那个 DVD， 我就想说，哇，这里面原来有这么多的秘密，这么多的 secrets， 再加上蒙娜丽莎是一个这么，虽然说她是很美的一个人，可是她其实心里面是很孤单、很孤独的。所以我觉得她能把这么一个凄美的人画得这么漂亮，我觉得蒙娜丽莎独一无二，一定是会盖在我房间，不只是大厅，我房间可能也会放。
OK， 第二个问题，刚刚你听到 Marco 说提醒他说，有的时候他们是这个样子很重要。假如你的好朋友给你做的媒人的话，去做一个 matchmaker， 说，哇，我找到一个男子或者女人，哇，非常非常好看的。结果你那天你们去约会碰的那个人呢，哇，丑不怪，怎么办呢？K 了。
大家晚上好。伊利的 question 说，如果我碰到那个人很丑怎么办？我想可能我不是很以外貌取人的人，所以我想可能会和他做朋友，然后慢慢坐下来交谈呐、交往啊，看他为人怎么样。如果好的话，我们还可以做朋友；如果他为人不好的话，我们就拜拜了。但是外表我确实不会因为第一次觉得他很难看就不再理他了，因为他也许内心是个很美丽的人，我不想错过认识他的机会，就是这样。谢谢。
好会讲话哦，甜水。那现在我们大家这个美感是不同，现在我们就说的就不要讲的就是太 personal。现在我就是讲关于做那一行的，比如说我是设计部门长 ，OK。但如果你是设计部门长，画来画去怎么样那个客户都不满意，你已经试了第4次了，那你要怎么办呢 ？Stephanie。
中文不是很好，
试试看，没关系。
所以我不知道他说什么。
Oh.
Say something.
The question is, you are an art director, and beauty is supposed to be very personal. But your customer has refused the job for the 3rd time now. What are you going to do for your fourth time?
Does that mean from beautiful?
No, you are the director. You are the artist.
Okay.
What are you going to do? The customer rejected for the third time.
我会跟他讲这个图很有意思，不是只是个画片，我画的东西可能不是很漂亮，可是这些东西在画里面有很多意思，这个花是非常有名的花，跟这个椅子也有很多意思，因为我们的校长有坐在这边，跟不是这个画片的意思不是只是漂亮的，还有这些别的意思会进步的意思。
很好，很好，很好。我付账了，我很满意。刚刚那个好朋友，你看他多勇敢，所以我跟大家鼓励说，不要害羞，上来试试看。我第4个问题就是，因为大家的眼光这感觉也不同，那你准备把你的房子油得很漂亮，外面油的，你先生喜欢蓝色，你喜欢哪油，那怎么办呢？命。
如果现在这是新房子，我先生说他要蓝色，我要奶油色，那怎么样决定呢？我们就坐在椅子上，比如说现在是 dinner time， 那我就会做很棒的晚餐给他，根据他喜好，比如说他喜欢吃鱼嘛，那我就蒸一条很漂亮的鱼给他，就是让他吃得很好了。很开心的时候，我就说，先生，那现在呢已经是这么好了，那我们就想一想嘛，沟通一下，就像修房子嘛，怎么样呢？你喜欢蓝色，我也知道你喜欢这种颜色呢，但是呢，但是要站在你太太的方面想想嘛，我喜欢是奶油色的，那怎么样分别？比如说这间房子，那么我们可以分开一半吧。比如说，你可以在你的office 里面，比如说是有你的蓝色。那我这房子呢，当然是我是有那个奶油色嘛。那当然，因为是比如说他是我先生嘛，我是他太太，我们都彼此的包容嘛。因为大家都是喜欢对方，比如说他喜欢吃鱼的，那我让他享受这个吃鱼的好处。但是我喜欢这是奶油色的，那我们彼此包容。那最后我还是决定那奶油色的房子变成。
这个太太，OK。Do we have time for one more? We're running. 最后一个 ，OK。现在我们已经认为美丽这个眼光可以。个人各是可以，但是美丽不管是怎么样，我们觉得还是很开心。但是丑跟难看呢？你觉得怎么样？角色是叫做丑？你来试试看。
Ladies are in the eyes of beholders.
哦，用中文讲是不是？
情人眼里出西施。什么叫丑呢？就有个 social standard， 但是在I'm an accountant, so I put everything I analyze everything, and I began to say, okay, proportionally, what's the 对不起，变成英语。 因为我是做会计师的，所以职业的本能就我会分析任何东西。如果是看一幅画的话，我会把它放到一个 proportion， 放到一个比例里面去。这个的地方多是好，那么这个地方少又是坏，就是什么东西都有一个它的标准，达到这个标准就是通过是漂亮，不达这个标准那就是丑。那这是我非常非常 logical 的一个我 logical 的那方面来考虑问题，但是有时候大部分时候还是你自己的感官。
终于他来逻辑来躲这个问题。现在我们这个即兴部门就是这一点。现在我把这个位置还给我们忘了 Toastmaster。
你应该多上来，我们可以笑一笑，在都比较安静。
But when you're an architect, you always have to play the role of the counselor, deciphering between the wife and husband about colors and different design options. With that, I would like to introduce Barry.
Barry.
Just explain to me, guys, a little bit about what your role is and the.
Yeah, just to recap, I'm the general evaluator, so I'm evaluating the overall progress and standards of the meeting. And then there will be an individual evaluator to evaluate the speaker and the table topic master and other stuff. So I will just turn it over to each individual evaluator. So evaluating speaker number one, who is Alberto, right?
So who believed this was his first speech? I think everyone in this room were shocked that he was doing an icebreaker. And the objective of the icebreaker were, does it have a body, a beginning, supporting body in the end? And also, does it get us to really get to know Alberto? I think those two evaluation criteria were clearly met. Some of the strong points that came through very, very clearly in his delivery were three things. He was definitely very, very well prepared. He used a lot of visual aids, a lot of sound to engage the audience, and he had no notes. Everything was, part of it. He was introducing him to the audience. Therefore, it was already kind of you presented kind of an experience that was available for us to understand who you are, and you didn't need any visual aids from a note standpoint to help you do that. You had a very, very strong presence, and the confidence, the knowledge, and the creativity, and imagination, the qualities of your mentor were all exhibited as part of your delivery in your introduction speech. And the richness and diversity in the content, as well as the way you introduced your speech. A lot of first person, second person, as well as kind of general inquiries. I thought those were really, really strong points that you brought to the table. It was really clever how you presented your idea of who you are under that umbrella of the three word phrases. And through that 3 word phrases, you were able to take us through the journey of your life, from your genesis, through your upbringing, through your personal life, through what you're passionate about, to what you do professionally and who you are now. So I thought that was really a very engaging way to get us to know you. And the way that you present yourself in the speech was really relevant to kind of who you are. So I thought that was really, really clever of you. From a structure standpoint, you grasped everyone's attention from the get-go. When you were saying, hi, 4 years old, and when you were playing between the dog, your grandpa and your grandma, the room was silent. I don't know if you noticed, people were immediately looking at you and trying to figure out kind of what's the next step from there. So I thought that your beginning was really, really, really strong. The body was really, really rich. again, you folded all these sub-stories under the main umbrella and provided really great structure for your speech. The ending, I felt like there was, I wish there was a little more time where you can kind of summarize the theme from each of the stories and maybe the overarching theme of what makes who you are, and kind of almost like a summary of what you want us to take away with. And that was kind of the only thing that I wish I can hear a little more of. And I think with that, I just want to say, this icebreaker speech sounded like the fourth, fifth, and sixth speech to a lot of us, and we really loved the journey you took us through, and great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Shinji. Our next evaluator is Adam. Adam?
Actually, Ken.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Ken evaluating our second speaker, Philip.
Thank you. Thank you very much. For Philip's speech, the objective is your body speaks, and you're supposed to use stance, gestures, expressions, and to make your body language smooth and natural. First off, I can just read what I said about what did you like about the presentation. It engaged the audience. It was very timely and very topical. It was original and creative. And I, as an audience member, found it to be very fun. So thank you, Phil, for that most excellent speech. As evaluator, I'm supposed to also give suggestions. It was very hard for me to think of suggestions, so I really had to pick on little details. One thing is the title. If you could make the title a little bit more, for example, ask Obama and Romney how to solve America's problems, or some other shorter title that people would be curious about. What is this? I really want to hear this. Also, it was fine, but you could also think about preparing for no questions, either by, if there's too much of a pause, saying, well, I have a question, or before your speech, talk to someone and say, prepare them. Say, this is what we're going to do. If you could volunteer a question if no one else is, that would be great. Also, this is the place to experiment. So your body speaks. You might even want to do it even more. Just experiment with your speech. The only real suggestion for improvement that I have is to keep the answers shorter. I think actually the length of your answers was quite realistic. Politicians tend to go on and on. But you could even say, we only have a short period of time, so I'm going to give shorter answers than Obama or Romney really would. Once again, I think everyone would agree, Philip, you were a good speaker. After your fifth speech, you are an even better speaker. Anyone that's here today, if you have not given 5 speeches, I'd encourage you to, this week or next week, sign up as a speaker, and before you know it, you will be as good as Philip. And finally, before I go, it was nicely framed.
Our next evaluator is Amy. You're evaluating our third speaker, Michael.
So this is my first evaluation for club members. The topic is great. It matches this project. Use the right word and sentence structure to communicate an idea. So through Michael's speech, I can imagine what's going on the 水族箱. OK， 这个水族箱，然后就是这个 topic， 就是我可以想象得出来，就是那个鱼在水里游啊，然后他家里那些 那些小鱼小虾的活动，然后它有 bring the knowledge， 也就是有一些新的 knowledge， 像这些风水啊，水族箱有风水这个我都不知道，然后他说了我才知道有这个，然后还有那个就是如果要 improve 的话，就是 at the beginning 就 speak too fast， 就是 need more pause between sentence， and then 然后 need better pronunciation. For example, you say 养小鱼 I saw you say I saw you have a fish's name is 养小鱼you say 养小鱼 so that's yes yes but overall yeah 就是他讲的很好，就是我可以想象那个鱼在水里游啊，虾，还有他 use some theoretical devices， 但是可以用的更多一些了。然后 yeah overall is yeah the sentence is short and then I didn't hear the jungle unnecessary words, so yeah it's great speech.
Sorry, I'm truly crushing this evaluation. I know it's another sign. Sorry. So one thing I really like about your speech, 讲中文还是英文？他听得懂。我简单点，很喜欢你讲的，就是我前段时间去的一个 training，就是说怎样 structure very powerful, very powerful. Can I just speak in English? Yeah, I went to a training on how to structure very memorable speech or article. So here's your point. From the very beginning, you stand what my stand is, where I stand on this. So 杨小鱼非常 blah 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 blah. Here are my supportings. So you showed us that, and towards the end, you summarize 1, 2, 3 again, then come up to your point here. So I don't think anybody will forget what you stand tonight. So that's a great merge of Eastern language, Eastern culture versus the Western structured speech and writing. Good
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a very great suggestion. I think our next item is the art counter report.
Alan, 在一开始 speaking Alan at the beginning when he introduced the guest, he had one soul, and then Samuel had one arm, Jesse had 2 arms, Alberto had nothing. Good job.
Good job.
Others had 2 arms, and Michael, I don't catch anything, but I just feel like it's a little too slow for the flow of the language. It's too slow. For a native speaker, it feels like a little bit strange if you could move a little bit. But I didn't catch just nothing. Yeah. And Marco had 1 arm when he's the table topics postmaster. Table topic master.
Thank you.
Sure. And Barry had nothing.
Oh.
And for Elite has 1 R, 2 这个. Alan had nothing. Stephanie had 7 arms and 3 那个. And Min had 0. And Wang Yifei had 2 R's and 1 soul. And then Barry 2 R's. When you as a general evaluation. And Xiang Yi had 2 souls when you evaluate. You had 2 souls, 7 R's. And Ken had nothing.
minute and 35 seconds. The Mandarin table topics, the first speaker was Alan, 1 minute, and
he left.
2 seconds. And Mandarin table topics number 2 was 33 seconds. And Mandarin table topics number 3, I think Ken should be. Stephanie? Okay, 1 minute and 10 seconds. And the fourth Mandarin table topic was. What was it? 1 minute and 34 seconds. And the fifth Mandarin table topics was eBay. 1 minute and 11 seconds. And evaluation, the first evaluation, number 1 was, who was that? First evaluation. Xiaomi, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Ken was 2 minutes and 31 seconds. And Amy was 2 minutes and 35 seconds. That's it.
Yeah, they wrap this up quickly. I think this is a very great meeting we had tonight, and I'd like to hand this over to the Toastmaster to carry on with next agenda.
Thank you very much.
谢谢 Barry。现在应该是由我，请问就是今天第一次来的朋友们，对我们这个演讲会有没有什么意见？ Oh, sorry.
I wanted to say that you all do a very good job, and great job both of you.
Perhaps we could ask
Yeah,
a
do you
new,
want to say it in English?
sure, perhaps we could ask a new guest to see if you have any comments about the meeting, what your thoughts are, your observations.
我们很棒，他说。
Yes, good work.
Yes, yes.
也很
Okay.
棒啊。
So you have to come up with something new.
Very yes. Excellent.
Okay. And on that excellent note, I'm going to turn this.
然后还有王菲。
Oh, sorry. Oh, she was here last time.
Yeah,
But do you have
no,
any?
no, no.
Please, by all means, if you have any observations.
Well, obviously, you guys persuaded me enough, and I was sold on the spot last time. So the expectation is there, and now it's getting higher, and still met it this week.
Yes.
On that very high note, I'm going to turn the table back to President and Sister.
Another round of applause for the Toastmasters. Great meeting. You guys have fun? Right?
Yes.
You guys learn something new? Every time I come here, I always learn something new. Like this structure thing off the hood. Remember?
Fibonacci.
Fibonacci, yeah. I don't even know how to say that. Great work. Okay. So, let's see. First thing first, let's go ahead and set off for next week's agenda. By the way, my name is Alan because I wasn't here last week. To apologize. And my job is to help you set up for the agenda for the next week or the following week, and also just to help out with the club and other aspects as well. Okay, that's really quick. All right, so who would like to take the lead for the next week's agenda? Next week's Toastmaster, English Toastmaster. Any volunteers?
Yay.
Yeah?
And Alberto.
All right.
Oh, you're going to be as well? That's great. So can either one of you start writing down the names and roles? Thank you very much. Let's see. Okay. So who would like to give an English prepared speech? You'll do it?
All right.
Did you already train your membership application?
I turned that into Robert Trent.
Okay.
And I still owe the check tonight.
Okay, we'll go ahead and collect that money. Thank you very much. And your name is Wang Fei, right?
艺术的艺，雨字头加一个非常非，细雨霏霏霏。
Okay.
Supposed to be that way, but
Visual art.
Oh, no.
All right, and now will be your icebreaker, is that correct? Your first speech? Great. Okay. Who would like to do another English speech? Okay, I will do it because I would love to do it. Okay, who would like to do the Mandarin speech? I think that will be number 7. Yeah. Who would like to do the Mandarin speech? Elliot? Great job. That will be your number
13.
Okay, I haven't decided yet. Okay.
25.
Great. And we can do one more Mandarin speech. Who would like to do?
Sherry supposed to do today?
She was. She was saying. Yeah. Okay, we can go ahead and do ready for that. Okay. Great. All right. So for the English table topic, Johan. Boy, good job, Johan. Okay, Mandarin table topic. Would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse.
All right.
What's Jesse's word?
Mandarin table topic.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. And the next one now is
General evaluator.
general evaluator.
Marco.
I won't be here next week. Thank you. That's all right.
That's okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think Ben is overdue.
Yeah.
There you go. For it. You will be the general evaluator.
All right.
It's like okay. All right. And the English evaluator for Ife. Yeah. Who would like to be the English evaluator for Ife? Michael.
Unless you want to let mine.
I don't know if it'll be my first evaluation, so
Oh.
maybe I should do like.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, Kayla will be Elliot. Okay. So will you be Faith? Okay, good.
All right.
Good job. And who would like to do my speech evaluator? It's going to be a really good one. Okay, so and then who would like to evaluate Sherry?
How about Amy?
Oh,
Would you like to do it?
I may not be able to come next week.
Oh, okay.
Kayla's doing something.
How about Jesse?
How about Barry?
I won't be here next week.
Will be here next week.
So you're allowed to do that.
This is the other Amy.
Is it not Amy? Okay.
Amanda.
Okay, also put Robert down. Okay. Well, we're gonna leave that open and we'll just send an email out, see who's gonna fill that in. Okay. And what else? We're missing grammarian, art, counter, and timer.
How about Johan?
The Johan is the table topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Grammarian, timer, and art counter. We can send an email out.
I think you guys will come up with a word and a theme. So they'll come up with grammar.
Okay. All right. Do I miss anything else? That's pretty much it. Okay. All right. So next part is announcement. Officer, any announcement you want to make?
Not today.
Not today. Thank you, Johan. Okay, I do have a few announcements before you guys take it up. I know we're running a little bit late. The first one is on October 29th, there's going to be a district speech contest. It's going to be holding at down the street from us. It's on Charles Schwab Building. I strongly recommend you guys to go just to see, just support speakers. That's the first thing, and also just to experience what a competition looks like. It's going to be really, really fun. People who went last night had a really good time. And also they provide wine. No, not wine, I'm sorry. No, they also provide food and drinks.
Yeah. What were you drinking?
Yeah. They do a good job with their
Yeah.
context. They really present them well.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was really fun.
What day is it, Madeline?
October 29th is on Monday.
Thank you.
And yeah, they will have a refreshment ready for you guys. If you please do register in advance because I think if you register in advance, you pay $5, but if you pay at the walk-in, it's $8. So make sure that you register in advance for that. Second thing is there's going to be some changes to the way we operate in the meeting. and we want to present to you guys, but we don't have enough officers here with us today, so we're going to postpone that until the next week. And we wanted to see how you guys feel with the new formats of the meeting, and we can vote on that, see if you guys want to go forward with that or not. Other than that,
You might mention that whoever wants to join this club, the fees are $22 for the 2 manuals, and then every 6 months is $48 as membership fee to Toastmaster. So if you are interested, go to either Alan or membership person.
right. And the books are really good to keep you on track, and it's really condensed and very informative. It tells you what you can be working on, what you should be looking for each speech. It's a really good book, so we strongly recommend it. Anybody else have any announcements? Yes, Ken?
If anyone here is really, really into very, very good coffee, or if you know anyone who's really, really into very good coffee, then talk to me after the meeting.
Yes, I will. That's the case. Anybody else? Okay, well, have a great night.
I would check out on that. Let me see what it's Tuesday,
Bahamas was good. Interesting. It was fun. Minnesota was more family related. That was. Which side of me do I want you to do? So you can take care.
Yeah, keep it intense. Yeah, really good.
I know. Next week I'm hearing
Yeah, but the training I was in I don't know, I started yeah, it's just I have a hard time trying to no,
yeah, definitely. Go ahead, see what you think.
I want to hear about coffee.
That's why we're here. Practicing stuff.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, I think when I talked to her, she said that San Francisco menu was a San Francisco menu. So
She does only medical. I think. You're spaced out.
I know, I was like, oh boy. Okay, so
I ate a lot of
Yes.
I don't want to become more.
Are you walking now?
I ask you next week.
48, yes.
And then,
see you the week after.
I'm wondering if you had a video. Okay, then we leave that. That's good. Maybe if you get a chance to let me go on that side of the scene, I'll like say message you for that. I think that's
Yeah, thank you very much. So I'm going to go ahead and relay the message to our membership. She's going to send you information. So just go ahead and fill it out. As far as the paid membership, we just pay us next time. I don't think you got much. Just be a check to us, and she will let you know.
Well, because I know she really wanted to do something.